Give thanks for the eye to see when it's time to flee. Listen, once you've had your fair share of lower vibrating experiences and with people, and once you awaken to it, it's hard to unsee it. So we like to label them as familiar spirits. Like it could be good or bad. But today's chat, we're going to talk about those low vibrating familiar spirits that once you see them, you have to leave them alone because you already know what those type of energies bring. You've already experienced them, and your best bet is when you acknowledge that it is presenting itself in a person, a place, or thing, situation, situation, for you to just exit left. One thing about having this enlightenment is a blessing because now you can't be fooled twice the same way. It's up to you. Like, it's like once you know better, you do better. And this is like a rite of passage. You have to go through the bad in order to have this type of enlightenment. You have to have been played with before, or experienced some low vibrational exchanges to understand the enlightenment that comes with surviving that type of energy. So low vibrating energy, it is just that. It doesn't die because it is energy. And what it does, it transfers, it hops. So it'll hop from one person to the next, and you'll see these same characteristics and experience the same type of feelings, familiar feelings, every time that energy presents itself to you, because now you know. It's like your radar goes off when it presents itself in a new place or a new person that you encounter, but it still rings that familiar spirit, that familiar energy, that energy signature. Once you recognize the energy signature, it's like a game changer for you, because it'll be hard for anybody new to come in and try to get one up on you. It's kind of like surviving a narcissist. Once you've survived one, you can spot them all. Unless you aren't doing your work, you're not paying attention, you're not really healing, so you can get that enlightenment to not be, fooled by that same energy twice. See, when it comes into your energy field, your alarms are going to go off. Now, if it doesn't happen immediately, a couple things that'll start happening is there'll be familiar instances, like it'll just remind you of a past experience, the current one, the present one that you'll be going through with the person, the place, or the thing. So you'll get like an epiphany, an aha, deja vu type of energy, and then that should also wake up the other senses. So once you get the deja vu, the aha feeling, it usually wakes up the other senses that were asleep, and then you decide, okay, familiar energy, I don't want to deal with this, I don't want to experience, I know what this brings, and then you bounce. That helps you because surviving that type of energy, meaning you've done some type of healing, right? And being able to notice the energy signature in people, it is greatness for your evolution and your journey and where you're going. It'll be hard to get crossed up going forward because you can recognize when the negative energy is trying to affect your positive experience. And then you can become like Neo. It's like seeing the Agent Smiths, being able to recognize when that energy transfer into somebody. And one thing I noticed, it loves to use the people that you've already become vulnerable to. It could be your family, it could be your friends, your lover, and coworkers that you've become close to, or you have to work in close proximity to. So immediately you'll start to see a shift in that person once that energy enters them. It'll be the actions they display, the words that they speak, the things that they do that rub you and allow your radar to go off. And because you know the energy signature, You can tell if this person is playing off their own energy or if they've been infiltrated. And it might sound crazy to you, but once you've been through it, you can see it. You can recognize it immediately. And it'll go right back to the first person that introduced you to that energy. And then you can ask yourself, do I want to go down this road? Because it reminds me of you know who or what. And then you make that decision if you want to replay and get yourself in a loop. Because one thing those negative energies come with, they come with a karmic loop. So you jump on that merry-go-round with them if you want and watch yourself loop around with the same type of experiences that you don't want. But because you agreed to allow this energy to come into your life again, you will start looping those same type of experiences that you've healed from or you've cut yourself away from. So being mindful, I'm always mindful. You come into my energy field, if it's not right, my alarm goes off. You could call it paranoia, you could call it what you want. But when you've been through so much from letting your guards down, you understand how important it is to get out the moment you get the first sign of a familiar spirit. And with me, it'll show up in people that it's just so funny because it's like, damn, I gotta let you go. Once I see it, it's just like, ain't no need for me to even, I gotta let you go because you got that familiar spirit. I mean, you came in on an assignment, or if you didn't come in on an assignment, your vibration is so low that you could be infiltrated with the energy that does have an assignment to take me down or to cross me up, to throw me off or to mess up my damn path in any way. So if you got that energy signature on you, that means you're easy to be infiltrated or you came in with a plan already. Either way, I have to cut you away. And it's not about actions. I had to learn that. Well, it is about actions, but it's mostly about the energy of it, right? Because a person can smile in your face and give you a hug and all of that, but it's the energy that you feel. A person can give you a compliment. What is the energy you're feeling behind that compliment? It's just that simple. Reading the energy behind things instead of just staying surface level. And that'll keep you from being tricked, And, one thing I will say, our intuition always be telling us, but we got to learn to go with the intuition instead of logic, because a person may have done something for you or giving you something or helped you out in a time of need, right? That's the surface. But if your intuition is telling you that this person is not the energy is not in alignment with you, your higher self is telling you, the radar is going off. And if you keep ignoring that day after day, week after week, year after year, you'll find yourself, being played. Because when you finally wake up and you look back and you see it, wow, I was played. And my intuition always told me, right? So it's like now I don't trick myself out of what my intuition is telling me about a person, a place, or a thing. If it's giving me that familiar spirit, that lower vibrational energy, and even if it's presenting itself as a positive, if the underlying energy that I'm getting is that you're masking, I'm out of there. And I don't make no scenes. You know what I'm saying? I just remove myself nice and sweet, because one thing I also learned too, there's no need to confront the energy, because the energy knows how to manipulate or to jump out of that person, and they really will be telling the truth, and they'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know, because you've already acknowledged, you spotted the energy, and it'll jump out of that person. It's just like when a drunk gets blacked out and they wake up and they don't remember nothing. That demon that took over them is gone now. It's used you for its purpose. The alcohol is gone now. So the power to take over your vessel is gone as well. But when you get up, you don't remember nothing, but that don't mean you weren't used by that energy to do the things and do the things you did and say the things you said while you were under the influence. So it's the same with, just recognizing familiar spirits. If you don't want to deal with that energetic signature in your life moving forward, you got to cut those connections short. Don't even allow it to infiltrate your energy and penetrate where you're vulnerable and letting somebody get into your energy field. So I'm very big on energy, and I'm grateful for that. It keeps you very armored up. in a spiritual sense. You're not on guard and paranoid like that, but it's like you're very aware of your feelings and your intuition. So when you are very aware of your own energy, it's hard for something else to infiltrate you and you not understand something is going on within your energy, right? And before, I didn't know that, right? And I was very open, and like my mama house was the open house. So many spirits probably came through that front door that didn't have the best intentions for me and my family. But because our guard was down and we were open for everyone, helping and loving for everyone that came through that door, we did not, really understand everybody that you help or everybody that comes to help you are not coming with good intentions. And when you have those spiritual, boundaries up and those spiritual anchors, and the boulders, I meant to say, between you and an outside energy, the moment it infiltrates or penetrates, you will be aware that that's not good or it is good. And when you have all your guards down, it's easy for people to come in with good energy and with bad energy, but you won't know the difference because you have not sat with yourself to understand, your energy alone. And then you'll be able to understand when the wrong energy is around you, when you need to get from around a situation, when some shit about to pop off. Like, you'll know your energy and you'll pay attention to it and you'll act on it. You wouldn't second guess it. You wouldn't second guess hanging around a person longer than you should have because your energy is so strong within self. You have already known and paid attention to when your intuition told you no more, in this. Don't take this further. This is not something you want to grow. This is something you want to cut off and move on. You would pay attention to those things. But once you know, you can't unsee it. And that's the blessing. It's a curse to go through it to get to the enlightenment, right? Because you feel cursed. You feel, it takes a bad situation, something to hurt you, betray you, whatever, for you to go through that tunnel to get the enlightenment, to be able to see these energy signatures when they show up again, trying to distract you or infiltrate what you got going on. And if it's not for your highest good, you instantly feel it and you instantly know because you're so tapped in and tuned into yourself to pay attention and to do whatever your intuition is telling you to do. So that's my quick, little chat for today. Guys, be like Usain Bolt. When them negative energy signatures show up at your door, close the door. If they show up to you while you out and about, get from around it because it's not coming with good intentions. If your spirit telling you no, go with that. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow in my next chat. And until next time, peace, love, and happiness. Bye.